This is the story about a walk around the block. And yes, this is a love story. He needed to walk down the block to the store. But instead of just walking the one block, A to B, he decided to walk around the block, A to D to C to B. He did this for no reason at all. Well, he never made it to B. He ran into her on C. They married, and this proves the F-A-T-E, for fate, for For the last 16 years, she has been consciously aware of the fact that he is not really her type. Their son is, of course, a huge believer in the F-A-T-E. He always walks the A to D to C to B. Sometimes even the A to D to C to B to A again. The A to D to C to B to A to D to C to B around the block, again and again, for hours. In some ways, he is kind of a fun-loving father. For example, every 3 months he pops popcorn and brings out the records. They are records from his past. His wife and son really enjoy record night. Sometimes he even sings along for a few notes. The A to D to C to B. Just A to B, no go, never would have met her. Gotta walk the F-A-T-E, for fate, for For the last 35 years, she has been consciously aware of the fact that he is not really her type. But his story about the A to D to C to B is pretty impressive. It does seem to prove the fate. She guesses she is a believer in the F-A-T-E. They are records from his past. They are golden oldies. They are oldies but goodies. They are the only records in the house. Record night is fun for everyone, but the rest of the time he prefers it if the house is completely silent. Their son thinks of music as a tri-yearly occasion. It makes him uncomfortable when the kids at school talk about music in a conversational way. But he knows secretly that he is better than the kids at school because his life is completely silent. And he walks the A to D to C to B to A to D to C to B around the block again and again for hours. She wonders why their son walks around the block again and again like that. She thinks it might have to do with a certain little girlfriend. This thought is a special comfort to her. It is their secret, hers and her son's. When she thinks about their secret, it brings a loving twinkle to her eye. One day, just as their son is about to go out the door, she stops him and asks, "Why do you always walk around the block again and again like that?" And with the loving twinkle in her eye, she asks, "Does it maybe have to do with a certain little girlfriend?" He stares at her. How has she forgotten the walk around the block? This is for fate. The A to D to C to B. Just A to B, no go. Never would have met her. Gotta walk the F-A-T-E for fate. For He stares at her, but he doesn't say anything. And after this incident, he never talks to her again. She feels robbed. Her special comfort is gone. Their secret. She lies in bed at night asking herself, what did I say wrong? When he thinks of what she said about the certain little girlfriend, when he thinks about the loving twinkle in her eye, he wants to punch her in the face for no reason at all. A few months later, it is record night again. And for the first time ever, their son does not come downstairs. So he is alone with her and the golden oldies, the records from his past. He asks her, do you remember the day we met? The A to D to C to B? She says, of course I do, honey. How could I forget? She remembers. He decides to sing along for a few notes. The A to D to C. Their son comes pounding down the stairs. He is headed for the door. He trips on the corner of the rug. The record skips. He catches himself. He makes it out the door. It slams. She asks, what did I say wrong? It is a violent moment. Outside, their son walks the A to D to C to B to 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 A again. He stops on A. He knows there is no reason to walk the A to D to C to B. No reason at all. From where he is standing on A, he can see B. He's never walked just A to B before. For forward, for fate, for he turns and walks back to the house. Inside, it is still record night. The golden oldies are playing. The A to D to C to B. Remember, this is a love story. The F-A-T-E, for fate, for